And that's what actually makes Teslas a really nice car to drive as well as to live with. Because every, I would say 3 to 6 months, it does have some amazing features which surprise me every time. And it gets to a point that, you think that what else they can improve on. So my car was missing another update. And at this stage, I'm just wondering, is it just my car or is it a common theme with Tesla? So before we move ahead with what I want to discuss in this video is some of the amazing updates we just got, or at least I just got in my Tesla. And especially 2 of them are really nice. It could have saved me a lot of time to figure out if I had those options back in the day. But before that, let's actually see how to trigger an update if you're not receiving an update in your Tesla. So to do that, you just go to your car menu and then drag it down to software. And then from here, pull it down and release it. Once you do that, you would see that if there's an update available, you would get an orange sign if you're outside the Wi-Fi area. Otherwise, it'll start to look green, which means it's downloading. But for now, let's talk about those 2 updates which I'm discussing in this video. One of them is unlatching the charge cable, and the other one is keeping accessories powered on. So let me tell you why unlatching power cable is very important. So in my BYD, I was actually stuck on a charger because there's no option to physically remove the cable in BYD. Whereas in Tesla, you still had an option to actually unplug the charging cable via either the app or via inside the screen. But when I first rented out my Tesla, I didn't know these settings, and it was already overwhelming for me to know all that Tesla was able to do, especially the fact that it was the first time I was actually driving a Tesla. So the range anxiety was one of my biggest concerns, and it was so overwhelming that I didn't actually had time to look at all the options. And I literally had to call the owner of my Tesla, or that Tesla, to actually unplug via the phone, because I was not able to find that option here. But at least in the car, now I know there's an option, and if you're not aware, then I'll show you where it is. Once your car is actually charging, you can go to charging, and here you would have an option to unlock charge port, which means it'll unlock the charger if there's a charger connected to it. So this option was available in the car menu as well as in the app. But just by updating the software, Tesla now allows and combines a physical control to unlocking the charge port. So just in case your cable is stuck, you don't actually have to get inside the car and unlock the charge port, or find your phone to sort of do the same, right? So how it works is, if you're charging the car, the left side of the door, which is right next to the charging port, if you keep holding that handle and pull it out and hold it for 3 seconds, your charging cable will be unlatched. Let's talk about the other feature, which is keeping the accessories powered on. So in case of that, if I have my battery percentage over 20%, I would be able to charge anything that's plugged into my car and don't have to worry about just walking away. And that helps me in multiple scenarios where either I forgot to charge my, let's say, cameras or anything which I need in the evening after work, but I didn't have time to charge it, I forgot to charge it, or sometimes even worse, I plugged it in but forgot to switch on the switch. And I'm sure it won't just be me who does that. If it is, then yeah, this feature may be just designed for me. But what it allows is, if you got the option on, you would be able to charge the device even if you lock the car and walk away. Now be cautious, because not every device that we plug into the car is safe to do so. What I mean by that is, make sure your device does have like overcharging protection and things like that. And it should be of decent quality, that if your car is parked in the sun, if your device is just sitting outside on the seat, which I don't know why you would do it, because the charging ports are inside. And that's how I usually charge my camera if I have one, which I need to charge. Even in the car, I just plug it in and charge it. for those who don't know where the charging ports are, let me quickly show you. So that's where your charging port would be, and as you can see, it would be something like that. Let's say your AirPods or things like that are out of charge, so all you would need to do is plug them in, leave them in the car, and that's it. Now, before this option was enabled, if you walk away, you won't be able to actually charge the device, and it would switch off the charging. Like in my BYD, there's no option to do that. So just in case if I have to charge a device, I either have an option to switch on the car and lock the doors, switch off the aircon, and that way I would be able to charge the device, or there was no way. But in my Tesla, you either have to keep the camp mode on and switch off the aircon, or do a workaround. But having that option for us to be able to charge the devices, especially if you really need it. Let's say I'm just doing YouTube videos, so it's not end of the world or end of the day for me. But if you're a professional working in a field where you need those electrical devices to be charged, and not necessarily from a big power outlet, otherwise you would need the BYD tech or other companies' tech, which allows you to sort of use that vehicle to grid functionality, right? But for a normal phone or a, let's say, camera, or what else you charge with USB, a laptop maybe, right? So all those devices you can charge while the percentage of the battery of the car is over 20%. And I would recommend, like, if you really need to charge it and your battery percentage is really around 20, don't do it, because that way you won't be able to use Sentry mode, because that's another thing with the car percentage, like car battery percentage. If it goes below 20%, the Sentry mode cannot be activated in the car. So yeah, so saying that, be cautious of how you use it, but at least there's an option to charge the devices, which wasn't there earlier. And speaking of that, let's see how that setting looks like. So again, you go to your car setting, go to charging, and there you go. That's the option which you need to turn on. And I just read, when enabled, it continues to consume energy even when no devices are connected. Hence, don't do it unless you need it. So what I would recommend is keep this setting off and only turn it on when you actually have a need to charge the device. So let me know about these two features and if you think you would be sort of using them. And I'm sure, if anything, unlocking the charge port is a really good one. And before the skeptics jump in saying that, oh, in that case, I'll just hold the button on the door for 3 seconds, or the the handle on the door for 3 seconds, and the port's going to get unlocked and I'm going to steal the cable or whatever, that's not how it works. The car still needs to be unlocked. It's just for the scenario, for third-party chargers especially, where there's no physical button to unlock the charge port, because whenever you're using a Tesla, either a home charger, a wall charger, or supercharger, there's actually a button on those charger leads which allows you to unlock the charge port. But for them also, your car actually needs to be unlocked, which means the phone needs to be in the proximity. But allowing the door handle to act as a unlock button just removes that sort of extra step of you getting your phone out or reaching to the screen to actually unlock the charge port, which I believe is a really innovative way to do it. Because if you already have access to it and you have a sensor which detects how long the handle's been sort of pulled for, then why not do it? And that's what actually makes Teslas a really nice car to drive as well as to live with. Because every, I would say 3 to 6 months, it does have some amazing features which surprise me every time. And it gets to a point that, you think that what else they can improve on. But they keep on adding things which are practically really, really nice. I know that it comes with a caveat that you have to learn a lot of things. Like if you're driving any other car, you would have certain features, and once you start using them or adapt to them, that'll be it, and you don't have a learning curve attached to it. But with Teslas, I think it's a love-hate sort of thing, that I love the fact that it improves, but I understand it could be very painful, not in a literal sense, but it could be a challenge for someone to grasp what the car is capable of doing, and hence they might not like the car for that reason because it gives too many updates. But I don't think there would be too many people, and if there are other cars like BYD and a lot of other brands are coming along providing decent options for electric driving. So yeah, this is it for this video, and let me know what you think about these upgrades, as well as if there's any other update which I missed, because apparently my car's not giving me updates anymore. I actually got another one pending to be downloaded, so let's see what that one brings. But other than that, enjoy your Tesla, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.